he expects, considering what he has heard and seen, that this movie is probably going to be going through production basically all the way up until the moment it's released. Renegade Online. He expects, considering what he has heard and seen, that this movie is probably going to be going through production basically all the way up until the moment it's released. This just broke. Chris Gore was doing a Film Threat cast earlier today, and apparently he got some scoop on Doctor Doom and Doomsday. Now, I've been a little skeptical since the beginning as to when the official release date for this movie was actually going to wind up happening. When they first announced it as being, May of 26, I said there's absolutely no way. Lo and behold, guess what? They shoved it back all the way to Christmas.
Uh-oh.
And then when that date got announced and the filming schedule and some of the issues going on, I said, I'm becoming very skeptical that it will actually happen Christmas of 26. Now, it may still, but Chris is seemingly confirming some of my concerns. This is a brand new article that dropped just a little while before we started the show. This is from Alex. And let me say this. Alex has been awesome for Geeks and Gamers. Absolutely freaking awesome. Chris Gore reveals that Doctor Doom details an Avengers Doomsday trailer rough cut. So, will Doctor Doom resemble the Universal monsters when he graces the silver screen in Doomsday? That's what Chris Gore heard from someone at Marvel. And he talked about his sources reporting a, quote, rough cut of the trailer for the upcoming MCU movie on Film Threat. Now, this is a trailer that is allegedly going to debut, really no surprise, in tandem with Avatar, Fire and Ash, coming out a few days before Christmas, just in about 2 months from now. Gore began the video by explaining to the viewers and co-host Alan Ng that he couldn't divulge certain pieces of information. Then he confirms what the rumors have been saying for a while. Avengers Doomsday trailer will debut in front of Avatar, Fire and Ash, the next installment in James Cameron's massive blockbuster sci-fi franchise. Fire and Ash will arrive in theaters December 19. Describing Avengers Doomsday trailer, Gore calls it, quote, not anything groundbreaking at all, and, quote, not nearly finished. His source was, quote, surprised by the amount of footage of Doom in action. Detailed here. Y'all go read the full article on geeksandgamers.com, the brand new refurbished geeksandgamers.com. Pardon me. Here's the
Greeks.
deal. Yeah, Greeks and Gamers. The issue here is what Chris says later in this write-up is that he expects, considering what he has heard and seen, that this movie is probably going to be going through production basically all the way up until the moment it's released. Where have I heard this before?
Star Wars?
Disney Star Wars, essentially listening to feedback and trying to change things to appease people all the way up until the bloody end. And guess what? You lose when you do that.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Yep, Rise of Skywalker. And that's just it. When you look at this and you look at the fact that, okay, they're showing this, there's a lot of unfinished, it's very rough. This tells me that my concerns with the ability for Marvel and Disney to stick to the second release date that was pushed back nearly 7 months from the initial release date in May, from May to December, is at best slightly tenable at this point. Here's the issue. Is anybody looking forward to the movie? That's the question. Philip, you do a lot of reviews on your channel. Where are you on this movie?
I figured that the fact that they brought back Robert Downey Jr. is like they are in dire need of some kind of big financial boom for them. I think that's the reason why. And if they had to bring someone back like Robert Downey Jr. just for them to save it, you know that they're in deep trouble. And the fact that they moved it about 7 months, you know that it's they don't have faith in it. And a lot of stuff that's currently right now, according to what I heard, they're writing it and filming it at the same time. Goes to show that they don't know what the hell they're doing. So I'm not excited for this at all.
They brought a writer in. They brought a new writer. I can't remember who it was, but it wasn't a no name per se. But they brought in a new writer to work on the script. Philip, like they were already 6 to 8 weeks into principal photography, and another writer was announced. Yikes. So you're not wrong. And this was back over the summer. And let me tell you this. I saw this, and this is what freaks me out. There was rumors going around not that long ago about that there would be reshoots for this movie, which there has been for damn near every Marvel flick in the last, 10 years. And I saw this today before Chris did his video. I bookmarked it because I thought, this would be interesting. Avengers Secret Wars will reportedly begin filming from April to September of 26. Now, let me tell you why that's weird. Because the previous rumor that I had seen from other certain sources that have had some success rates in the past with their rumors that bore fruit, let me put it that way, is that there would be reshoots for this, for Doomsday, beginning in April. And now the suggestion is it's going to be Secret Wars. And then we get the story here from Chris today that, nope, indeed, we're actually going to be looking at potentially work up on Doomsday until it's released. Man. I think Kevin Feige has another mess on his hands.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, here's the bottom line. You said, are you looking forward to the movie? Fire and Ash? Yeah, 100%. I'm an Avatar. I can't wait for that movie.
Are you really?
Out. Oh, I'm a total Avatar.
Okay, you and Jay are like the two guys I know that are huge Avatar fans. Yeah, I don't know anybody else that... Okay.
I love it to death.
I'm really looking forward to it as well.
Okay. I think it's going to be a great, fun experience. And here's the bottom line. He's at least committing to the bit. And he's like, I'm putting these movies out. If you don't like them, fine, whatever. But I'm putting my movies out. This whole thing that's going on with Marvel, you know what it reminds me of? So they had their success with Marvel. They made their money, and they made a lot of money on those movies. And they did it. But now it's faded into kind of irrelevancy, right? Like everybody, we had our time. It was great. We all look back on it fondly. And now they're like, but remember these guys? And it reminds me of bringing Bill Goldberg back. And they're like, everybody come. Bill Goldberg's back in the ring to finish out his career. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about this stuff anymore. The time has passed. So, like, if you're going to do something, commit to something new. Like, let's do something and let's do it well. They tried it with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Everybody hated it. They didn't really commit to it. Let's commit to something new. But no, they're bringing Bill Goldberg back into the ring. They're like, hey, by the way, Robert Downey Jr. is back in Marvel. Spend money. Nobody cares, dude. Yeah. Like, no one cares. This isn't some kind, and it's not like this is some kind of huge surprise for people when they sit down in the movie theater and they go, oh my God, Doom is Robert Downey Jr. This was leaked a very long time ago. And so there's nothing to be excited about. It just doesn't do it for me. I don't know.
My thoughts on Marvel's, second, I don't know what phase, we're not on the second phase, whatever, phase 20 or whatever.
It's like phase 6.
Phase 27. Yeah.
I feel like there was, in the fandom's, mind, these characters that we had, we gave a crap about. That story ended. We lost people, some people, died, in these characters. And then we are trying to, like, we all had like a closing. We all kind of like, okay, it's done. And now they're just trying to keep that excitement going, or keep that going with people we don't care about. And I feel like they could have done a lot more to cultivate a, new era. I feel like they had some momentum going with characters like Bucky, but they botched it. There was at least in the female space, everyone really was like, what are they going to do with Bucky? Are they going to make him the White Wolf? What are they going to do with that? Are they going to make him the new Captain America? And they could have gone to a place where the people would have cared about this next set of characters, but they completely dropped the ball. No one cares about the Falcon as the, the next Captain America. No one really cares about this new set of characters and this new storyline. And like the guy said, they're trying to recapture that by bringing back RDJ. And I just think it's like too little, too late.
I'm going to disagree. Doomsday is going to be huge because of everybody involved. Robert Downey Jr. is coming back. Chris Evans is going to be Captain America again. You have Tobey Maguire is going to be coming back for his Sam Raimi Spider-Man. You're going to have Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool. You're going to have all of the OG Bryan Singer X-Men coming back with Ian McKellen, Professor X, Cyborg, all the OGs from back in the early 2000s. Everyone's coming in. This is a last-ditch effort for them to do something desperate. Mm-hmm. And I'm not necessarily going to be the one that's super excited. I'll see it opening weekend for sure, because this is what we do for a living, right? That we have to talk about it.
Absolutely.
But Doomsday is going to make $1.5 billion minimum.
We're going to see a trailer by Christmas, it sounds like, which is no surprise. And then there's going to be more hype and trailers pushed out into 26. I've had my desperate concerns. Here's the thing. If you're right, even on $1.5 billion, the scary thing is Disney still won't make a profit. We had Infinity War and Endgame pre-COVID. Those movies did about $2.1 billion and $2.8 billion respectively. Those movies, because of things that we have followed financially, legally for several years, including our friends over at Forbes magazine, namely Caroline Reed and Christian Silt, who have been on this show. Production for Infinity War and Endgame. Do you know what it cost Disney?
For both of those movies?
Both of the movies together.
Over $500 million.
$1.3 billion. That is according to the Walt Disney Company's own financial filings in the United Kingdom to receive film tax credits that have been extrapolated and amortized out over many years so they could dig deeper into the well of the tax credits the UK affords. They're probably going to spend easily at least $1.3 billion between these two films just on production alone. It's 6-7 years later. And the marketing costs have clearly increased. Each of these movies is probably going to have to do at least $1.5 billion, if not $2 billion, just to break even. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.